Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to episode 9 of the Hightide. Today I've got Kenzo and Manny on. Kenzo, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How was you?
Not doing too bad.
That's good.
Nice day out. Got some
Beautiful
shit
day
done.
out.
How you doing, Manny?
I'm doing great, boss. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here today, because there's certain things that's going on as I come to you, as a good counselor and stuff like that. There's a lot of that going on in the music industry that we have to clarify, especially like to our youth and also like to the media that a music is just like it's something we listen to and we are influenced by. But due to the fact that we have a lot of corrupted music and a lot of fun music, not everything is corrupted, but we have a lot of fun music. But we live by these culture, and music is like the best things to really inspire us because there's stories through struggles, there's stories through happiness, and there's story to like how we can become the best person we can be.
I feel like that's true, and basically to build off that, a lot of the music that you see today is like industry plants. Like people put in the music industry by all these labels and shit, because they know that they're gonna make them money. But at the end of the day, these artists get stuck in bad contracts and they can't make music whenever they want to because they have to go through the label. And I feel like that fucks up a lot of artists in a sense. And that's why, me personally, I would never sign a label. I would never sign to a label because I would want to keep all of my music.
Excuse me.
Like, I mean, there's nothing really wrong with signing to a label. There's demands and there's profit. So as an artist, I would talk to you like as an artist, I think we should not hold back because of that. Because like just say if you out there and you promoting the music that's gonna help the environment, help the youth, it's different from telling other people about the struggle.
But you rarely see artists trying to make cultural and positive change anymore. I feel like they're just in it for the money. Right. And that's why I don't listen to a lot of current artists. Like I'm more like the old school, like 90s rappers. Like I fuck with storytelling and shit, but a lot of days, all these rappers are talking about, oh, I spent bands on bitches at the club, fucking pop bottles at strip clubs. Like, bro, I don't care about none of this shit, bro. Like, and I want to find a meaning in your music, bro.
That's absolutely true, man. And I think the big thing like with record labels, and it's the same type of deal with like, somebody fresh out of high school going into college and signing up for student debt. Like, you just see money, you get those dollar signs in your eyes, and you're like, yes. But in reality, like, when you come to shit like that, you gotta know what you're getting yourself into before you commit to something like that, because you can get fucked over.
I totally feel that shit. Because if you see like $1 million on that contract, a lot of the people who are in the rap game come from shit. So it's like, oh my God, I've never seen that shit before in my life. Like, I gotta take that. I got a family and shit. Right. But the problem is that they don't read the contract. All they do is just sign the contract, and this is what happens, and it's a problem. But nobody talks about it, bro.
Yeah.
They just read the contract.
Signing the contract is mostly like is giving away certain type of rights to your own music and stuff like that. Like if you have to produce or if you have to make certain amount of music or just say you rapping for a certain type of genre of music, things get better or it get worse. It due to the fact of how the artist is producing himself or herself. And music, for our culture, music is everything. Music is the what speaks to the kids. Music is open our youth eyes. And right now, the music industry, I could say like mostly like the rap industry and stuff like that, they are like They're portraying an image that is not good for the kids.
No, it's not positive. Like, if I were a parent, I would not want my kid to be following this shit. Like, yeah, go to the strip club and fucking fuck all these hoes and shit. Like, that's how you get bitches pregnant, and then you're fucked.
Right.
Like, not for some people. Like, if you have a contract and everything, you're rich, but all of that shit just comes back to you because you're living the rapper's lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah, and we learned this year too. You gotta be careful with that shit because there's so many music people and like big comedians and all these big people that like they have all this money and shit. But especially like, if you're young and you're on a roll and you're what's hot right now, like you're just vibing out. Like you're making mad money, but you're spending just as much as you're fucking making.
Right.
And then all of a sudden 2020 hits and it's like boom, no concerts,
And
no
where's
comedy
the
shows.
Yeah.
No
and where's the
income.
cash coming from? It's all coming from streams. But you don't make a lot of money off of streams.
No.
A lot of it is concerts, man.
Exactly, and that's the problem because of the pandemic. They can't do their concerts, so they lose a lot of their money, and then they're even more fucked because they are still signed to a contract, but now they're not making that much money as the contract was.
I mean,
Like Lil Wayne, for example.
Mm-hmm.
He has been brought up on charges for a bunch of shit, like not paying people, all this other shit. And like Lil Wayne has been around since I was like 1. Right. Like, and you see all this shit is starting to come back to him. Like it's starting to happen to a lot of rappers, bro. They are being just like there are things that are being brought up that have fucked them up.
They technically being controlled, but due to the pandemic, nobody is really making the money. And back then, if you look at everybody, where they used to make their sales was album sales.
Albums.
We have a lot of streaming. We have a lot of YouTube where everything is free. That we don't even have to go to stores anymore to buy these albums. So if somebody drop an album, you have to buy it on Apple Music, or you have to pay for it somewhere else. And not only that, you could listen to it for free. They are still getting paid, but due to the fact anybody could listen to your music or anybody could download your music, the most you could get is at a concert. And the pandemic hit bad, and a lot of people is not getting no concert.
But speaking of the pandemic, like, how has your guys' experience been during this pandemic?
It's been up and down for me. It was the transition to online schools was a struggle to say the least, and it's not a very ideal way to learn shit. But I don't know, and it was sucked with my gym closing down. But other than that, it gave me the chance to really reflect a lot and kind of make a solid plan.
I feel like the fucking pandemic has just fucked a lot of people over, bro. Like, I was doing better before this pandemic. Now it's like barely holding on to the fucking rope. Like, I'm grateful for the government for putting this shit into place, but like, if it was a perfect world, I wouldn't even be in this situation.
I mean, the pandemic is something we have to face. We cannot change it due to the fact that we've been going through it for a whole year now. Almost technically a whole year.
February.
So as an individual, we had to progress. You always have to find a way to survive. That's what we are built to do. Human beings we are built to survive. So if you down, if it's mostly a job or like just due to the fact of your happiness, meaning you can't go to clubs, you cannot go to concerts, you cannot listen to none of these music, or you cannot see your favorite artists, or just say some people do book tickets in advance, and all of those things get canceled. I guarantee you don't get back your full money.
No, like the big concerts like Rolling Loud and shit. I'm glad I didn't buy tickets. I almost bought tickets to Rolling Loud this year, and they didn't refund you. They just rolled it over to next year.
Oh shit! So that means that you were gonna go next year.
Oh, I didn't buy tickets, thankfully.
So even if they roll over to next year, there's a lot of stoppage. What if you working? What if you can't make the concert? You know, you're losing money just to support somebody else. And it's not that we can't like support the artists because we love them and their stories they tell, it motivate our life as people and individuals, kids, older people and stuff like that. So as we sit and like we take our time and try to be on top of our best artists, but the pandemic is hurting that situation. And to be honest, we are lead to like disliking the artists due to the fact that mostly the concert are canceled. We waste money, and nobody want to lose money. So things like that is hurting us because then we're gonna look at the artist as a bad artist, or we mad and things like that, and we can't change the fact due to the pandemic. The pandemic is like it's an up and down scale. While we're like when we come to sports and stuff like that, even the sports game, we can't even go to the sports game. So we are lacking, but it's something we have to live with. There's consequences and things like that. But like I say, when it comes down to music is like our inspiration.
No shit.
Trying to
Do you need to
get a
take
job. No.
Take the call if you need to, man.
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
Yeah, just go in my room. We'll keep talking out here. You gotta do what you gotta do, man. It's important to find work in times like these.
Yeah.
I feel a lot better. I recently went back to work, and it's just good exercise, and it's good to have structure and stability.
Yeah. No, working. I am about to go back to work too. You know, the pandemic been holding a lot of people down and a lot of people out of work just because you have to make sure you're tested, you're not positive of COVID, and go in a job. And even going in a job, if you are tested positive, it's hard to be hired nowadays. So you are on a 50-50 line of border of getting work. But the stimulus check, again, we had that once this whole year.
Yeah.
1,200 do not support kids and family.
Hell no.
It don't even support college students to be able to make means or earn means as they go to school. So the pandemic have been slowing a lot of stuff down, and like when it comes to the music industry, like I'm trying to focus on the music industry. The artist is losing. They're gonna lose technically their reality due to the fact they are shut behind closed doors.
Oh yeah.
And you cannot really tell the people how the word is or how living is if you're in a closed area, like you're in a closet. You are stuck because therefore you're not coming out to tell anybody what's going on outside the word. And even if you're telling those people what outside the word, everybody gonna somewhat look at you like it's not real. The only thing you can do is try to motivate people and make them stronger. You know, like, hey, the pandemic is here, and this is what we have to do. This is how we gotta stick together. And there's a lot of Black Lives Matter situation in the USA nowadays. And we are not taking a look at that because it's so much riot. I don't know if the riot stopped, but it was a riot for at least 5-6 months, if you could recall.
Oh yeah, there was riots all the time. It was real bad for a couple weeks.
Right. And those riots really, it took a toll, not only on the Black community, also on the white community, also, also with the people that have to go to work, that have to deal with kids, people that want to go to the concert, because if you lose your money at a concert door because just say the pandemic started in, let's just say February, March. That's when a lot of things started shutting down. And when things started shutting down and those concerts were shut down, people not getting the money back lead to a lot of riots, lead to a lot of other companies looking like they're a fraud. You know, they can't, because they're not providing what they said it was gonna give and stuff like that. So the rappers, the singers, all the artists like in the industry, they have albums, they have a lot of stuff because everybody's trying to, you know, progress to the next year. They have a lot of things, but because of the pandemic, a lot of stories gonna change around because they're stuck in a one place, in a spot that they can't really go out and deal with other people.
Yeah, it's hard too, especially if you're in like a city or something. You know, a lot of people like have like really shitty apartments in the city because if you're living in the city, you know, there's lots of shit to do, and you know you're not like gonna be home all the time, so you know you're not really invested in a great apartment, nice place or anything. You might just be crashing there and just out on the town doing shit all the time. Right. And now you're stuck in this really really shitty apartment that's super expensive and there's nothing to do around you. It's a bad
you
situation.
talking about Plattsburgh or the city down?
Oh, just bigger cities in general. It's not necessarily the case up here. I mean, it is, but it isn't.
I mean, I feel up here. Shit, there's nothing to do here except shoot beer cans off porches. Bro, it's just some fucking country shit, bro. Like,
I went bowling the other day. It was alright.
See some white people shit. Bowling. I went bowling the other day.
To be honest, no, but to be honest, bowling is a shit. I ain't gonna lie. The first time I ever smoked weed, that's when I first time ever bowled. You know, bowling is great. It could be a great relief and stuff like that. You know, it's just that we have to like going out. We don't have to take that out of our schedule, even though we are banned from going out. But we need the fresh air of this earth. We need that. And we need to communicate. We need to see other people, and we also need to have fun as individuals and people. So, like as we doing certain things, it elevate us to want to do more. But the pandemic is like limiting us from our jobs, because if you can't get a work, if you can't find a work because you COVID positive or you can't find a work due to the whole reality of COVID that's going on, it's hard to pay rent. Not everybody is getting a stimulus check. Not everybody is getting unemployment check. And even if you have to quit your job due to the COVID and you have to stay at home, you cannot provide for you and your family, or you cannot put food on the table and rent, you know, pay rent and stuff like that. So the pandemic is really affecting us, and the check is not coming every month. They give us a stimulus check, but this check is not coming every month. And
I got shit from the fucking government, bro.
See, and not everybody qualify for this. Qualify for the unemployment too. So this is really hurting our community. And since we up here, we're talking about Plattsburgh. Let's just say we gonna talk about our present. There's a lot of jobs that went out of business. You know, it might not seem like it, but there's a lot of factories that's here and they're not making that much money. You know?
Yeah, and because the bars are really impacted too. They get a lot of their business past 10. The bars are hurting. Restaurants having to close at 10 is hurting them. And then all the gyms shutting down. Like my gym went under. You know, obviously that sucks for me. Like, you know, the gym's open back up. I got an email. My gym's like, oh, you know, we're not reopening. That sucks for me and all the other people that go there. But it's like that gym also employed, you know, a decent amount of people as well.
Right.
I feel like it's crazy. Like speaking about fucking everything shutting down and shit. So I went back home during the weekend, and I'm from the city.
Long Island, right?
No, Manhattan.
Manhattan.
So basically, I go back to Manhattan, and I fucking go down the street, and pretty much everything is just fucking closed, bro. Like, they closed down a few of my spots, and I was fucking pissed. Like,
Damn.
bro, like, when the fuck is it that you can't go to the deli at 4 in the morning now? Because they're shut the fuck down. And it's like, that is a huge part of the it's a huge part of the New York experience. Mm-hmm. And just a lot of shit in New York isn't the same. And that's why a lot of people have started to leave New York City.
Yeah, people have been fleeing out of LA and New York like crazy.
Like dogs, bro. They just, they're gone. Like, you know, honestly, like, the thing that was attractive about the city the most, like being able to do shit, is not there anymore. So it's like, why the fuck am I living here? It's just expensive, and I ain't doing shit.
Yeah.
So I feel like now is a great time to start doing something at home. Like, if you like to paint, start to paint, bro. Or like, if you like to read some books. Like, learn about shit like on your own, bro. I really feel that should be something that everybody should do. It's good.
And since you're speaking about learning and the epidemic, a lot of kids gonna fall short.
They are.
On their education.
Oh, yeah.
On their education is bad. I have 2 boys, you know, and they go to school probably 3 times a week because they're down in the city. And if they have to deal with a lot of like other people, and that's their health at risk. You know, everybody health is at risk at this point. But the pandemic is not gonna give them the education they need, because a lot of people are not at home, but they are not really on top of their kids when it's come to learning.
Yeah.
Because some parents don't have the patience, you know? Some parents don't have the patience. Some parents don't have the time, technically, because what if they was a full-time mom, full-time dad that's always working? They have to leave their job, technically, just to stay home with the kids. That short them off for providing ends meet at the end of the day for their children. And not only that, we owe rent. We owe people when we can't work, when we can't provide for ourselves.
Yeah, like they had the rent relief or whatever, and they just extended it. But like, I know several people that owed several months of rent, and then it was literally like, you're paying it all at the end of December, or you're getting kicked the fuck out.
Right.
And it's like, that's crazy. Like,
like,
I get, like, you should ask for something, like, you know, maybe like start paying it off or make a payment system or something if possible. But
yeah, they
to pay it all in
me.
full and get kicked out or get kicked out is just crazy.
The situation here that the government is not seeing is that we don't have the job, or the job is not hiring for us to pay these rent.
Yeah.
Regardless, they have rent relief. They're not saying the rent is paid by the government. They're not saying you living there for free. All they're saying is you could live there until this shit is over.
Yeah.
Until the pandemic is over. But guess what? You still owe that rent. You still have to pay that rent. And to be honest, when you owe a certain amount, nowadays, everybody is greedy for money. Everybody want money. Everybody want something that's gonna benefit them. So as you not paying your rent, it's adding up. The more it add up, just know when the pandemic is over, everything is over, he want his money in one shot. What can you do? How possible is it for us to overcome that situation? If you owe like $5,000 or $10,000 in rent due to your mortgage or your rent, or the fact that you're living in a place that's very expensive and your job closed down because the pandemic is shutting everything down.
Nah, bro, it's crazy. Because I got that note on my door like a few days ago talking about, you have 14 days to pay us. $1,700. I'm like, how the fuck am I even gonna get $1,000, bro, to even fucking pay you, bro? Like, real shit. Like, I'm kind of tight about it, but then again, I feel like I've known people that have lived here. I'm not gonna name names, but I've known people that have lived here that haven't paid shit and stayed longer than I did when I was paying them like $200 a week for a whole month. And actually, then I only missed 2 weeks after that, and then they had to put that shit on my door, bro. Like, bro, I feel disrespected, cause yeah, like it's hard for me to get a job, but you should understand that. Like, I'm 20 years old, bro. Like I'm not 30 or nothing. I'm just starting out into this world.
Right.
And it's crazy because, like, I feel like there should be some kind of way that they can help out their tenants because it's a rough time. Everybody's been fucking affected by this. A lot of people aren't that, like, fucking, like, there are a lot of poor people in Plattsburgh.
It is.
And I feel like taking them out into the streets during a fucking cold fucking winter, bro. That's cruel, bro. That's fucking cruel, bro.
I could tell you right now, it's not gonna be possible they're gonna kick anybody out.
Like, that's what they gonna do to me.
They're gonna try. You understand? The court of law states that like me and you was talking earlier, they can't do nothing until May. But like I'm sticking to this script, like mostly, even if they say you can't get kicked out, you still have to pay that money.
Oh yeah.
Even if you don't have a job. So regardless, as they stretch it out, it doesn't make no sense. And
yeah,
it's
and the
not
$600 stimulus won't even cover one.
It won't.
It'll cover literally 1 month of rent here.
Yeah,
bro, and I can't even get that because I haven't filed taxes ever. So that's the problem. Like, I'm just, bro. I was kicked out of my house in November. I mean, like last November, last year, and actually just thrown into fucking Plattsburgh, bro. Like, I'm happy that I have a place to stay and everything, but to maintain it, it's a fucking obstacle, bro. Like, this is real life shit, bro, and it's hard for me and especially a lot of people,
right?
Because the only jobs that are like here are factory jobs, and those fuck your body up, bro.
Right.
I worked in 3 factories, and that shit fucked me up, bro. Like,
no, factory jobs is labor.
Labor.
I will always say that. Factory job is very hard labor. Mostly, I live in Plattsburgh. The factory jobs out here is no less than 10 hours long. If you want to work at a factory, it's no less than 10 hours long. Plattsburgh is a student ground, and they don't condone. They are trying to make you, but also break you. You know?
Well, that's what. Yeah, college. Like, if you do it right, like, college can be a really great thing. But a lot of people don't do it right, and it can also be a fucking trap and a half.
Yeah,
if you don't
that's
do it
where I'm
right.
at.
You know, because like especially like a lot of people don't know. Like, if you go and you don't graduate, they can charge you for all of the TAP and Pell and like your state aid and federal aid. They can charge you for all that shit, even if you didn't take out student loans if you don't graduate. So like, I know people that shit's happened to, and then people also don't realize like how much money like that really is. Like, even me, like I'm going into my second semester of junior year, and I'm only at about $12,000 in debt myself right now, and I'm trying not to take out anything further. But even $12,000,
that's
a lot of fucking money, man.
$12,000 is the start of a. If you have $12,000,
I know some people that are hundreds of thousands, which is fucking insane. But even $12,000, it's a lot of money to have to pay back.
You have to pay that back. Not only that, you have to pay that back, But what if you in college and what you are taking up as a career, you don't get hired in that field?
Right.
That's a lot of people problem. College is always the way. I'll always say that. Like, I'm a little older. I didn't go to college. I took a lot of trades under my belt. You know, college can set your mindset at a different level, but also put you in a hole. You know, because at the end of the day, you could go to college for criminal justice, you counseling, or let's just say medicine, to be a doctor. You can spend 5-6 years in college, have all the degree. As a tradesman, I would say as a tradesman, it's easier to get in those fields than people that go into school for these situations. Like,
yeah, it's also like you're talking about doctors. Like I hate the way that we structure society with doctors, man. Because these are the people that are supposed to, like, on a really bad day, like you're in a car accident, like you're experiencing some real bad shit. You gotta go see a surgeon. Like, you generally don't have to go see a surgeon unless, like, you know, it's a serious issue. Whether or not it's life threatening, but a lot of times it can be, even the simplest of surgeries. And like, these people are stressed as is, seeing dead bodies, seeing people all fucked up, and like seeing all this crazy shit.
right.
And having to do that, it's a high stress situation, as is. But like, they're also like providing like a community service in a way.
True.
And yet these people are so straddled with debt that just adds all this extra stress on top of that. I feel like that's a horrible system. Like, doctors would probably be better if they weren't straddled with all this crazy debt.
Right.
Like, they should be, or it should almost be treated, I feel like, firefighter training or police officer training, something like that.
That's exactly what was on my mind, because I think going in the field of doctors or like a nurse and things like that, you cannot be looking at the money due to the fact because you're going into that field. And it could cost you a lot just because that's the field you want to take up. You know, you go to college, technically a doctor, to be a doctor or something like that, or a nurse, you need at least 4 to 8 years of college. This is going to cost you a lot. And technically, like, when you in this field, it's a voluntary work. In the U.S., it's a voluntary work. Like, third world country, the doctors get paid up front. You know, you get your money up front before you treat a patient. But in this country, we are dealing with taxes that's supposed to pay the doctors and stuff like that. But now, due to the fact that we in this pandemic, the doctors are literally working. They getting paid. Don't get me wrong. They are going to get paid because that's how the system works. But if there wasn't taxes and stuff like that, they would be on the volunteer work, like the firefighters, you know, the police officers. The police officers are technically, like, it's voluntary work because it's something you got to be willing to do, because it's like risking your life. Taking care of people is not something easy, you know, because you are sick. You have to be wanting to save a life as a doctor, as a nurse, as a surgeon and stuff like that. In order, you cannot want to do it for the money, because if you are doing it for the money, we will be in a bigger hole than we are right now. There won't be much doctors, but we still get charged to go to school for these situations. We still get charged for things that we have, you know, that we need to get done. Like, if I get into an accident, like I got into an accident a couple of months ago, and about 5-6 months ago, broke my leg, go to the doctor. What if they ain't had no money, they ain't have no insurance? It was a choice. These are their choice they make. To either treat you and bill you later. 100% of our patients, us the patients, we don't look at those doctor bills. We can say we working and we paying taxes because our taxes and all of that supposed to take care of the doctors and stuff, doctors and police and the firefighters and stuff like that. But this pandemic is like, it's keeping everybody in.
Yeah.
So, what if, I'm not saying people should get hurt or people should get sick, which it will be a good deed. But people are now scared to go to the doctors. People are now scared to be in the hospital due to the fact of this is where sick people are. This is where COVID could be, And not only that, you can't pay for nothing. You are still in a hole because what if your job is not providing insurance anymore for you because of the COVID? Or you don't have that job that was giving you the insurance, that was going to full cover you just in case you get sick on COVID.
Facts.
It's different. And the COVID, like I say, the COVID is a big deal. And what the government is like, it giving the people for their tax work and their hard work and things like that. The doctors still get taxed. Nurses still get taxed. Firefighters still get taxed. Police officers still get taxed. That's their job. But they still have to pay in order for them to work. So these things is eating up the economy. And to be honest, the rich is getting richer.
Oh,
because I think I was reading something on Facebook earlier that the upper class people got 1.9 trillion richer.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
You get what I'm saying? Because
Elon Musk
the
has made
stimulus
like
check.
80 billion this year.
Yeah. Because of the stimulus
Yeah.
check. They getting stimulus check.
Yeah.
Your stimulus check is $1,200. And these people's probably stimulus check is like $12,000. That's a big difference. I was looking at some news reporter, things like that, and she was talking about the poverty level of like being in a pandemic. How like governance, just if I'm a governor and I have like an office, the state gonna pay me $40,000 for a new set of office material every year. $40,000? A lot of people don't make $40,000. Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people don't make $40,000.
I heard Cuomo just gave himself like a fucking several $100,000 raise.
I don't even care what he does, honestly, because he's helping us out. I don't give a fuck. I can't do that. But he's actually fucking doing shit. Like, he's fucking putting shit in place to help people.
Right.
And I'm grateful for that.
As you put things in place, it's called charity. Every charity, you get taxed back. This is how America works. So if I'm paying my money for you to get a job, best believe I'm going to get double that money when taxes come around. So either or, I'm trying to help you, but I know for a fact, deep down, it's going to help me way more than it help you.
Yeah, companies too will like, there's like thresholds, so it's like, I don't know, we'll say simple numbers. Say it's like, if the tax bracket, if you make under $100,000, you're taxed at this rate. Mm-hmm. But if your company makes between $100,000 and $200,000, you're taxed at this higher rate. This company might make $110,000, and they will then, give, say, $11,000 to charity. So their company now only officially made $99,000, which now they're still donating to charity, sure, but that's in reality that's saving them money. It costs them less to give that $11,000 to charity than it would to be in that higher tax bracket. And then everybody's like, oh wow, look at this company, they're so great, they gave to this charity, but in reality, like what you're talking, they just did it to benefit themselves.
Right. And that's where a lot of businesses lose their job. If you can't give to the charity, if you can't, to be honest, Trump did open opportunities for a lot of locals Meaning, like, if I have 10 or 15,000 in the bank, I could open a business, and they are allowed to let me have that business.
Yeah.
I would rent like apartments. They are businesses because even if we don't get kicked out, they are still have to pay mortgage. The same way you have to pay rent, they still have to pay mortgage. These are private owned company. Publicly, like anything that's public, meaning Section 8. Section 8 in New York is closed down. It's been closed down for at least 5-6 years. They say it's there, but there's nobody getting Section 8 anymore unless you were on Section 8 before it got closed down. I'll tell you, there's people that's living off of Section 8 that pay $1 of rent a month. You know? While others, college students, you know, that living on their own, that's going to school for a career job, don't have that opportunity to pay $1 of rent. This college student, because you don't live on campus, or you think, I'll say this, college do not have room for every student that go to college. Meaning they don't have a place for everybody to live for college. So therefore, some people have to pay out of pocket.
Well, plus too, like some people like don't have the option to go back home, and if you're living on campus, like you can only live there, you know, during the 2 semesters. You have the winter break and the summer break, but then you have nowhere to go.
Right, and it's on your parents, which is understandable because they are expecting you to grow up. They're expecting you to become a man or become a woman, be able to take care of yourself. And the pandemic is not giving that much job. You cannot go to school and work at the same time. Some people could do it. Some people can't. It depends the type of trade or type of major you are taking in school. Due to the fact, like, you have to keep writing essays. You got to make sure your grades are right. You have to get some sleep in order to stay up in class if you're in college. And if you can't do that, and also you're in college, and this pandemic, you can't work, and you cannot go back home. So now you're stuck during the summer where the school cannot pay for your rent or anything like that. And then you cannot have a job because of the pandemic, you know? So now you stuck, you know? You stuck between a rock and a hard place. That's how you look at it. And you have landlords that's willing to kick you out.
No, yeah.
You know, willing to kick you out because this person is not responsible. But they're not seeing the bigger picture that you can't have a job, or COVID is affecting a lot of things in the area. And as for humans, we're supposed to worry about our health first. Your health comes first before anything else. Because if you're not healthy, you can't do anything. So we are lacking that, and a lot of people in this Plattsburgh area, I'll tell you, a lot of people don't care at all. It's either you working, you paying your rent, or we're gonna kick you out. And when it comes to the DSS, the social services that's supposed to help you out, when you go to them, it seems like you're bothering them.
Yeah.
Even though they know the situation of everybody's life right now, it's the life situation, like, oh, I can't work, I'm gonna get kicked out. But then they still on top of you, you know? They still want to see how you can make ends meet. Because while you're not disabled or there's nothing wrong, but they don't understand that you cannot just get a job because of COVID. You cannot just go anywhere and be hired. And if you are in school, you don't want to take up, this is Plattsburgh, you don't want to take up a 12-hour shift. When you going to sleep and when you going to wake up for school?
Yeah.
When you going to get time to study? Things like that, people is not really looking at it, you know? And this is affecting us, the youth, affecting people that's that's trying to make ends meet and trying to be a better person because they cannot return home to families, to friends, or somebody to have an open door for them.
It's also hard too with the college students because a lot of them are still living that college lifestyle, which, with partying, this and that, which can be problematic.
Right.
But, if you're going to do that, that's cool and all, but a lot of people are like, yeah, I'm going to do that. But then they can't go home because their family members are older or at risk or whatever. And that also impacts a lot of things too.
That's true, definitely. I feel that. I feel like this is the time for people to step up. These are the these are the trying times where we get to see who we really are. Like, through all this bullshit, we need to know that you can handle this shit. And honestly, I feel like
It's gonna be hard.
being a college student. I only went to college for half a semester, but it's hard to do a lot of things at once because you're there to learn, but there are things that can attract you that aren't beneficial to learning. Like, for me, I would smoke weed all day and do nothing, and I honestly regret that shit because I had the opportunity to learn, but I fucked it up. And now people who are trying to get back into college, it's harder for them to get back into college because of this bullshit. Because of Corona. Like,
Right.
I don't know if I could learn good off a computer. Like, I want to be there in person, like, to actually soak up the experience of actually being in the classroom.
Yeah, it keeps you more focused too. I found when I sit down in front of a computer, I'll pay attention to an online class, but I find that I don't ever take notes, man. I'll go to a class with a notebook and I'll sit there the whole class, take mad notes the entire time. It's just, I don't know, online learning is different, man.
And I feel like everybody has a different type of way that they learn shit. To me, I'm more like a visual person. I gotta be there.
Yeah, like a monkey see, monkey do.
Exactly.
Like, the more you see it, the easier it becomes. It registers to you. Like, classroom, online classes is there because of office jobs. That's how I look at it. Telemarketing, producing, and things like that. But if you say you want to work for the economy, even for the police or things like that, they have online classes so you could become an officer, which don't make no sense. You cannot go to.
I feel the same way about trying to pass school for driving and shit. Because how the fuck you gonna learn how to drive off a fucking computer, bro? You need to be in that fucking car, bro.
Exactly.
And you see how car crashes go up each year. I am betting you that there will be even more next year. Because a bunch of people are getting their license and they didn't go to driver's school. They just turn on their computer and learn how to drive. But that still doesn't be the old experience of actually learning in person.
Yeah, and that's where the pandemic is really fucking up the kids, the youth, anybody that's under the age of 18, that's in college. Let's just say anybody under the age of 21, from college all the way to high school down to middle school, grade school. This is why the pandemic is messing a lot of stuff up. Excuse me. The pandemic is not allowing everybody to go to school. Plattsburgh, the kids are going to school. There's few classroom that's open and stuff like that. But they are not classroom that is mandatory. Mandatory classroom right now should be the nurses. And a lot of nurses are online. You
How
cannot
the fuck
be
you gonna
on.
learn about being a fucking nurse if you're looking online?
Right.
Fuck.
And that could lead into the nearest future a lot of people
Dying.
Yeah.
Because of the lack of their caretaker's education.
Yep.
Or they were educated, but they didn't get a hands-on experience. So
And that-
why would you throw somebody into the fire when they haven't even been in the fire? I was trying to make a point.
No, I get what you're trying to say.
Okay, man, just throw them in there, bro.
Yeah, and then that's how it's gonna be. That's how it's gonna be in the
And
next.
hospitals too, bro. You
Yeah,
can't go to
too.
the hospital because of all that shit with fucking COVID, bro. You
Right.
don't get the first crack of like being cared for because COVID is the priority, and everybody else who have been trying to wait on like a procedure or something like that have to keep aiding on that shit
Yep.
because of the attention with Corona. And honestly, I feel like that's fucked up because a lot of people are dying every day because they aren't getting any health services.
Yeah, it's also shitty too. Like I know I got a friend that's his girl is pregnant, and they're telling him he's not allowed to be there to see the
Yeah,
birth of
for
his
the-
child.
Yeah, the child
That's
that birth.
Fucking crazy, dude. But you can go to a Trump rally with 60,000 people.
Which
And
is-
that just brings us back to what people value in this world. People would rather go to a Trump rally
No, the thing is,
than actually do something with their lives. Like,
Wait.
no. Like, I'm not biased or anything. I'm just saying,
Mm-hmm.
every time I go by the Price Chopper, all you see are Trump rallies.
Oh yeah.
right.
That's,
But you gotta look at it.
what are
like
you
this.
doing outside?
People. Some people feel like Trump should have won what you gonna call it, won the presidency again due to the fact one, from my point of view, every president since George Bush has second term. The only thing about Trump was they try to impeach him. But if you look at the votes, this country had never took the people vote. They always took the Senate vote. Trump won the Senate vote. What's his name? Biden won the people vote.
He did.
The people voice is strong, but the Senate is where it at. This is why we vote. We vote for most seats in the Senate. Trump won the Senate. Either way you look at it, people look at it as not fair. While other president had a second term winning the Senate vote, you get what I'm saying? And not the people vote. To be honest, the second round, Barack Obama did not win the people vote. He won the Senate vote. Same way with Bush,
I would
and
say Obama any day.
I mean,
Obama. Not gonna
like if we go back to Obama's day, I'll always tell people like Obama was put in the chair just to get rid of Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden. He's a Muslim, and the terrorists or whatever they call themselves, they will not give up another party unless you're part of me. And America had to be part of them. And this is why they put Barack Obama in the chair. I'll be clear to everybody on that.
It was rigged.
Yeah, it was done. It was done purposely to get rid of those two people because America felt like those were world lords. America won. America the Great. America is so powerful, nobody could touch America. Those people showed that America was nothing when they hit Pentagon. I'm not gonna say the World Trade Center. Pentagon. The Pentagon is to this day and was ever been the military base. They hit your military base. A lot of people said 9/11 Pentagon. No, 9/11. No, they said World Trade Center. They don't want the media give you what you want to hear. But if the media go back, if you really go into the story, those people hit the Pentagon. They destroy your military base where you got all your military saying that. Like, we gonna destroy you. We bigger than you. And those are small country, not continent. These are country that's destroying America.
Okay, so because you were on the point of 9/11, do you feel or do you believe in conspiracy theories based on 9/11?
Meaning,
Saying, when it was an inside job, like George Bush hired
to me,
fucking CIA, fucking CIA, the CIA or whatever to fucking hack those planes.
To me,
and fucking take down these
no.
buildings so that it could give them an excuse to be in war.
I don't necessarily believe that it was like an inside job like that, but I believe there's some shit that they're not telling us about it.
Right. That's I agree with what he's saying. You get what I'm saying? It had to happen in the inside. Always. You know, you ever heard the saying, keep your enemy closer? That.
Your enemy's closer.
It had to be an inside job, correct?
Yeah, because how does
the inside man?
Yeah.
Because how do the Twin Towers just implode like that? Like I have seen implosions before, and it looked exactly like an implosion, bro. So I think that it was there was an inside person that had to have something to do with that. Because how does how does a plane take down the World Trade Center, bro? One plane takes down.
If you see the video of the World Trade Center will explode. It wasn't because of the plane.
Nah, because if
exploded.
you see the video of the
people saying it's the plane
of the collapse, bro.
It was a domination,
exactly like an implosion, bro.
It was a domination. You feel me?
Because they use charges or some shit and fucking blew that shit up.
When they break down the buildings, I'm gonna tell you right now, if a plane hit the building was gonna fall sideways.
Not even, bro.
It was gonna force.
It's made of fucking steel.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Steel can't be taken down by an airplane.
You can't bend it.
Fucking destroy a whole fucking huge ass building.
If you see the way everything happened, I was in the 8th grade when 9/11 happened. I live in Staten Island. We saw the smoke, we saw all of that, we saw all the news. When I seen it, I was in history class. You know what I told my teacher?
What?
As a kid, I told him they exploded building. The building was not hit. If you look at it how the plane coming in before the plane came in,
curves in.
Yeah, before the plane hit the building, it go boom. You can see the explosion. So it's like a domination, like we gonna destroy. If the building is hit, the certain part was gonna stay because they hit the top of the building. Certain part was gonna stay. So it was an explosion that brought the building collapsing straight down.
But bro,
it was,
But
like,
bro, it took an hour for the first building that was hit to collapse, and it took even shorter for the South Tower that was hit the second to collapse. Like that just seems weird.
It collapsed.
Like why?
There we go again.
I don't understand
those building was tall.
How it just pancakes floor on floor on floor on floor. Like that's like
it was an explosion.
What?
It was an explosion.
Like,
it was a setup.
Like I actually mean if it was like if it had happened like just
those planes exploded,
then you would see the whole building just earning until they could extinguish it.
True.
But no,
some of those structures
collapses.
Standing, yeah.
It went down.
Bro,
if you see the domination for every other building, it's the same way they break it down.
5 years I think to build the Twin Towers. So how does something that takes 5 years to build just collapse?
You can't say that. You can't say that because
I'm just saying it, bro. Because I just feel like there was something going on, bro.
It was. Like I said, it wasn't. You could tell. Like if you play the replay of the World Trade Center, you will see the explosion. It explodes. It wasn't the plane.
Like a huge.
The plane was there. Like they all exploded at the same time.
Like
you get what I'm saying?
But
they were meant to explode at the same time.
But bro, I feel like that was caused from the plane's fuel. like it fucking just exploded, fucking into the building.
It wouldn't do that. A lot of planes had crashed. The way the plane, if you see a plane crash, and with the way the World Trade Center was, what the thing happened, you would tell it's a difference. If a plane hit something like a building, it was gonna explode right there and knock it off. You feel me? This is me throwing rock at like a pilot cup. That's how we look at it. If I throw it at the head of the cup, that just best believe if it's 6 cup, at least 3 gonna drop. Cause I'm hitting at the head.
But
These
how did
planes
whole
came
thing
at the top of
collapse?
the buildings. It collapsed because it was an explosion. It was a demolition.
Exactly.
The people, it was an
Yeah.
inside job. It was
That's what I've been trying to
set
say,
up.
bro. Because
And
no
I-
fucking
don't-
everything built in New York is just gonna collapse because of a plane.
It wasn't. I would
Hitting
tell
a top
anybody
floor.
you don't when you look at 9/11, do not focus on the Twin Tower. They are not your. They throw you off because Twin Tower, New York City, the best city in United States, or Las Vegas. You get what I'm saying? Twin Tower. Your main focus here was the Pentagon. That was a flat building.
But it's crazy. 'Cause
Imagine that building
there
exploding.
were a lot of.
They say a plane crashed into that building, but they never showed the plane crashing into that building.
There.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't show that part.
There is security footage of a plane going into the Pentagon, bro. And there is security footage.
I haven't seen it.
Haven't you seen it before?
I don't think so.
Really?
I have not seen it.
Then I
I'm
don't
not
know what
gonna
I'm
lie. They
smoking,
said it
but-
was a third
I
plane.
swear,
They
I
said-
saw a fucking plane in the
It
video
probably
that's on
was.
YouTube, bro.
No, it probably was. You get what I'm saying? But if it's a crash, that's the only crash that happened.
But
And they
think
they,
about it.
they take your mind off of that.
Think about it,
They
though.
don't want you to know that America is not weak. I would not say America is weak, but they didn't try to show you that America has been defeated by a country. This is why they put in a black president. They call a black president. He's Muslim. When Barack Obama was in the chair, I don't have nothing. When
He's
he
white
was,
too, do you know that?
he could be whatever he is.
Yeah.
I don't have no type of problem with him. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is he was put there for a reason. Because America was afraid. America was under distress. America was going through a tragedy that they could not gain from. Meaning they sent troops to Iraq for years and they couldn't get oil. They couldn't get the gas. You know what I'm saying? So it just
A lot
have
of
to.
false pretenses of weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah, they were saying that, but they couldn't prove it.
Well,
Even
yeah.
after they killed Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden, they could not prove it.
If you think about it, bro, these fucking terrorists, bro, were trained by Americans. They were trained by Americans in their home countries, and they were given shit, guns, like all the shit. So I'm thinking maybe they were trained by American. Well, they were, but maybe they were told by the government, or almost any high, fucking huge guy in the fucking office or whatever, like to attack America and then try to start a war for oil or whatever, or see, they are still in Iraq, right? They're still.
They
They're still in Iraq
No.
almost 20 years later, bro.
But you can't say that. You can't say America is still in Iraq. You want to know why I say that? Because America is with the UN, United Nations. I'm from Africa. The United Nations live on my land in Africa, on the way we live.
Yeah.
You know? So they are everywhere in the world. That's in the United Nations. They have soldiers, Chinese soldiers. It's not American soldiers. These are United Nations. So they are based everywhere in the world, in every country. They have a little group in that area. You know? So therefore, you can't say they're still in Iraq. after they killed those two people, because those two people were saying, no, we're not going to give America this. We're not going to give America that. That's why they put Barack Obama in the chair. And Barack, due to the fact he was a Muslim, he cut a deal with them. It was a deal. It had to be a deal. I don't know what deal it was, but it had to be a deal. Them people was untouchable. Since I was young, I'm 33 years old. You understand? Since I was young, I heard about Saddam Hussein since I've been in Africa as a warlord. Worse than Hitler. He been living longer than Charles Taylor. Charles Taylor was the next warlord in Liberia. When Charles Taylor was doing too much, they arrested Charles Taylor because we don't have that power. Because Liberia, where I'm from, is a little America. You get what I'm saying? They arrest Charles Taylor in Liberia and brought him to America jail. Charles Taylor got free from voodoo and went to different country. Since then, even America tried to catch him. They can't catch Charles Taylor. They know he's alive. He's moving around. He's publicly known, but they cannot arrest him anymore.
Because
he's gonna just leave. He's gonna disappear. He's gonna leave. He's do voodoo. I ain't supposed to be saying too much on the podcast, but you get what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, these people, they go for certain warlords. Charles Taylor, when Charles Taylor was coming up, that's what brought me to this country. April 6, 1996. It's a crazy war. Open. Fighting for presidencies. You understand? They know he was wicked. Just the same way Saddam Hussein, Osama bin Laden. Same way Hitler was trying to rule the world in a certain type of way.
Like Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
But nowadays,
they had to stop Saddam Hussein because he was worse than Hitler. But the thing was, he not well known due to the fact he kept to himself in a smaller country, you know. But that country, America, needed something from that country, which was their oil, the natural resources.
Oil, yeah.
Yeah, the natural resources. And if they couldn't get the natural resources, they had to bargain. And when they bargained was, okay, we're going to put a Muslim president in the chair. You're going to change your country into a Muslim country. I'm going to tell you, there was a lot of people that converted from Christianity, from Jewish, from different things to Muslim when Barack was in the chair.
Oh, yeah, man.
And there was even before the World Trade Centers, I was a kid, there was even people try to recruit people to be Mr. This and Mr. That. Letters. You understand? Letters. In the alphabet, you be Mr. A. But you have a certain mission. Mm-hmm. You have to recruit certain people. You have to do certain things. You understand? So, it's not that. Like I said, I'm not saying America was scared or America was this or America not powerful. America tried to limit the 9/11 as a Pentagon hit instead of they switched it to the World Trade. This is why they themselves. I'll tell you, the reason I say it's an inside job when it comes to the tower being hit was because they wanted to keep the Pentagon out of the scene. So they themselves destroyed something they could rebuild. Mm-hmm. That's how I look at it. You get what I'm saying? So that's why they destroyed that. Because the Pentagon was the first one to get hit before them Twin Towers.
No, I don't think so.
Yes, it was.
It would also make sense if they did something like that too, because like in the eyes of the people, the Pentagon gets hit. You know, the average person that doesn't really give a fuck about the government, you know, is like, oh, fuck the Pentagon. But you know, if you're seeing, oh, this tower full of innocent people, this fucking symbol of our American, you know, entrepreneurship, the World Trade Center and shit gets hit, then yeah, like, more people are supportive of going to war.
I'm gonna Google that. On 9/11, which building was hit first? Pentagon or World Trade Center, right?
I'll tell you, the first thing to get hit on 9/11 was the North Tower.
It's not about... I'm saying... Which place Pentagon or
So did
Dog.
you find a new place?
Oh, potentially. I looked at a place yesterday. I won't say where, just on the air, but I'll tell you about it afterwards. But yeah, me and the potential roommates looked at it, and we really like it. If the guy hits us back, we're probably gonna take it.
That's fucking great. And do they need to do
It's a really old house built in the 1770s. Used to be a brothel.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah. We're gonna go through with a black light though. Gotta make sure there's no crusty 18th century shit laying around.
Oh shit! It's a crusty dildo. Have you played any good games lately? Because I know you're a gamer.
I've still been playing Overwatch. I haven't been playing video games as much lately. I've been doing the podcasts and still writing and fucking
hey series.
working on work and whatnot.
On 9/11, which building was hit first, the Pentagon or the World Trade Center?
Shows? Nigga,
Hey
show tell you.
series. Hey series. On 9/11, which building was hit first, the Pentagon or the World Trade Center?
Dude, I remember one time I was telling my principal in high school that I was unlucky. And he's like, "You want to talk about unlucky?" He's like, "That's not unlucky." He's like, "My birthday, September 11th." I was like, "Oh
Wow, your birthday
shit!"
September 11th?
His birthday. Yeah, I was like, "Shit."
Pentagon attack on 9/11 militants at the Slavic hijacked plane carried 2 planes follow. Boom, boom. They said the 3rd plane hit the World Trade Center. So meaning, like I said, man, it's the media, but they said the 3rd plane hit the World Trade Center outside of Washington D.C.
Really?
Yeah, it said the 3rd plane, but it's not saying like which building, you know.
Yeah.
Which one was the first one to get hit? That's the whole thing. It's not trying to tell you exactly what it is, but I think technically it was the first their military base was hit first. Ain't no country gonna attack the same way they attacked Pearl Harbor. That was a military base.
Yeah.
When I come and fight you, I come and fight you. You get what I'm saying? That's
Right.
how every other country look at it. I'm coming to where your army at, where you can protect yourself at. You know, I'm not coming to destroy your finances.
But
They did that to cover up. That's how I look at it. That's why people say 9/11 was an inside
there
job.
were a lot of banks in the World Trade Center. So
Yes.
think about the money that was lost.
I mean-
Just on the banks alone, and then casualties. And then you realize like there has to be some sort of structure in this shit.
Yeah.
When was the When was the World Trade Center hit? Because I was in school and I was in like
At like 8 something in the morning.
8 in the morning.
Yeah, nigga, it was just when the people had started to get to work and shit. Cause my dad told me that he remembers being on a train to work in the morning.
See,
and
that's a
seeing-
lie. Cause the Twin Tower
Look
got
at me
hit
go.
at 10:30. The North Building got hit at 10:30, and they got hit back to back.
30, bro.
And listen, look at the time.
Like
9:45. The World Trade Center, the Pentagon got hit at 9:45. 10:30, the World Trade 15 minutes. Yeah, 15 minutes. You see what I'm saying? The Pentagon was hit first, then the World Trade Centers and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. They gonna hit your military. They gonna hit you where you can fight at. You feel me? That's your weak spot. If I hit you, if I know you're gonna pick up your hand, I can hit your hand, and it's gonna go back. That's how it is. You know? So they hit them where it could hurt at before they destroy them other buildings. That's what I'm saying. Like, you never know what people sign up for. You feel me? You never know. But the Pentagon, to be honest, the Pentagon was hit first. That's your military spot, and that's why America. They never try to put it out there. They try to. If you ever heard about 9/11, what they say? World Trade Center.
Oh yeah.
World Trade Center. The media gave you. I was a pressman for 10 years, bro. You get what I'm saying? The media give you what you want to know. I always say Staten Island, there's so much homicide in Staten Island, bro. It's more than Brooklyn. It's more than Manhattan. More than like anywhere else in New York. But due to the fact that they are rich, they are private, the mall is owned by somebody I know. You get what I'm saying? The McDonald's is owned by somebody I know. McDonald's, Wendy's, and shit like that. It's owned by the same way Plattsburgh is. That's how Staten Island is. It's owned by your locals. It's owned by people around here. You wouldn't even believe. That's how it is. When you work in like news things, you're gonna get the idea of those things. You feel me? And that's what I'm saying. The Pentagon was hit before anything else. But they didn't give you that. They would never try to look weak. Because that's our military base. This is where we enforce our law. This is where we enforce the type of things. We're not going to look weak. So they portray 9/11, oh, the building crashing, the building this.
Do you think that there will be another type of 9/11 in the future? Like another type of catastrophe in that scale ever again?
I say no.
Yeah, I don't think so, but it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
It
the
is
way
a
the world
possibility.
is looking right now, you never know what's going to happen, bro.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, like the way I view the word, bro, the word is at a black and white thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Black Lives Matter thing right now. You get what I'm saying? Even though we're going through this pandemic, but it's a black and white thing. And a lot of people not understanding that, like the situation that we are going into. Due to the fact, like, we still think we are under the same surveillance that we were 2 years ago. Or before Trump came in presidency. You get what I'm saying? Before Trump, the America defense was high. America was willing to destroy anything that come in their way or anything that try to touch them.
Yeah.
That's true.
And the reason if they fall back, they think that's how they were reacting. That's how they was gonna react. But like I say, they put that president in to show power. But when Trump came in seat, I'm not praising Trump, but when Trump came in seat, he felt like we gotta stand like this. When we talk this shit, we gotta live this shit. You know? And a lot of Americans feel like, oh, that was childish. That was stupid. No. This is America. If people say America got one button to destroy the rest of the world, that's what I've been hearing since I was a kid in Africa. They could push one button and destroy a lot of continents.
Well, a lot of the big countries can with their fucking nukes, man.
Those days has changed. Those days has changed. And that's the type of power President Trump was trying to force. Like, listen, if y'all don't do this, we're going to do that. If y'all don't do this, we're going to do that. Within ourselves, we look at it like, what the president's saying due to the fact, like, I'm from a third world country. You can't do shit to us. Know what I mean? You can't tell us to do this. You can't tell me to build a wall. Who the fuck are you? My family over here and my family over there. So you can't, why you want to hurt my family over there? That's how they look at Trumps. That's why people started neglecting Trumps. But America is a business place. It's run on business. And a lot of business is shutting down because of the pandemic. And not only because of the pandemic, you have the Black Lives Matter shit that's going on. It's going to affect the pandemic even more.
Exactly.
Because now you have to choose a side. Know what I
I
mean?
feel like it's always been that way though in America.